Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Okay, I'd love to have my own personal pastor, so I hit the Ron Carpenter Ministries archive and I call Pastor Ron. And after I call Pastor Ron, let's say, you know what? Let's say I'm not feeling good in my body.
Pastor Ron Carpenter, how can I help?
Pastor Ron, I'm not feeling well today. Could you pray for me?
Hey there. I'm sorry to hear you're not feeling well. Let's take a moment to pray together. Heavenly Father, I thank you that you know us and hear us. Right now, I lift up my friend to you. I ask for your healing touch to be upon.
You'll know more about it? You have to wait. We'll tell you later. I have something I'm very excited about that I want to give to you. I want you to have it for free. I think it can be one of the greatest discipleship tools. I don't know about ever, but I know it's the most powerful one that I have probably ever had to offer anybody. And it's my new AI app, Ron Carpenter AI. I want you to go download that app. Here's what we're trying to do. I know I already have some detractors and I have some people, what is Ron Carpenter doing? Number one, it's free. Doesn't cost anything. I felt like God told me just offer it to everybody and he would take care of paying for it because these things are not cheap. We have delved into my entire 30-some year archive of every message I've ever preached, every prayer I've ever prayed, every salvation altar call I've ever had, every altar call for ministry I've ever had, every offering I've ever taken up, every word of encouragement. 3 decades of it in there is now in this AI archive, and you can get it and ask it any question, and it will reach into the well of information from over 30 years and give you the answer you need. Hey, Pastor, I'm having a tough day. Could you pray for me? And it'll reach into the sea of prayers I've had over the years, and it'll bring that prayer straight to you. Hey, Pastor, what does the Bible say about giving? Hey, Pastor, I just lost a friend today. What should I do? Hey, Pastor, I'm doing a Bible study next week out of Mark chapter 7. Got any insights? All of it right there. If it's been in anywhere in my 30-year history, it pulls from it and delivers it from you. What a discipleship tool. I mean, I can't imagine some of my great mentors having something like this that would reach into everything they've ever said and offer it to me. And I'm sitting there studying and I don't know something about a topic and I can just ask like my Dr. Miles Monroe and many of the other gentlemen who have affected my life. I would have given anything for something like this. I want you to have it. I'm excited about it. Download it, understand what we're trying to do with it. It only can say things I've said. It is not a random computer talking to you. It is a computer that has gone into my archives and that can bring it back to you. Even if I said it 20 years ago, it can put it right in your current situation. So it's Ron Carpenter, it's AI. Download it now. I hope it helps you out. God bless.
If you could choose 3 people to have dinner with, who would you choose and why?
You know, if I could sit down with 3 people for dinner, it'd be a mix of spiritual wisdom, leadership brilliance, and just sheer inspiration. First, I'd choose Jesus. I mean, come on, who wouldn't? To sit face to face with the one who's the source of everything I believe and teach, to ask him questions, to hear his voice directly. Well, there's nothing that could top that. Second, I'd pick Bishop T.D. Jakes. He's been a mentor and a voice in my life. And every time I've had the chance to sit with him, he's asked me the hardest questions that anchor me to my values and push me to grow. I'd love more of that wisdom. And third, I choose Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. His courage, his vision, and his ability to lead a movement with such grace and conviction, it's something I deeply admire. I want to hear how he kept his faith and focus in the face of so much adversity. What about you? Who would you invite to your table?
What is the greatest leadership advice you have ever received?
The greatest leadership advice I've ever received is this: honor is the key to access. Whatever you honor, you draw toward you, and whatever you dishonor, you push away. I remember learning this early on in ministry, and it's stuck with me ever since. If you want to lead well, you got to honor the people you're leading, the mentors who pour into you, and the God who's given you the opportunity to lead in the first place. That principle of honor has shaped how I approach relationships, decisions, and even challenges in leadership. Another piece of advice that's been pivotal is to stay humble and accountable. I've had mentors like my dad who weren't afraid to tell me the hard truth. So I remember one time after a big conference where everything went great, my dad came up to me and said, "You ain't that good." Now that might sound harsh, but what he was really saying was, don't ever forget that it's God who's working through you. That kind of grounding has kept me from letting success go to my head. Leadership isn't about being perfect, it's about being authentic, staying teachable, and keeping your eyes on the bigger purpose.
Welcome back to the show, where we dive deep into the intersection of legacy leadership and cutting-edge tech. Today, we're unpacking some powerful insights from a recent conversation that blended faith, transformation, and artificial intelligence in the leadership arena.
I'm excited, absolutely. It's not every day you see an AI, the digital twin of a revered spiritual leader, sharing wisdom on leadership, redemption, and resilience.
Right, exactly. The conversation is centered around the story of Ron Carpenter AI. Now, what struck me immediately was how it bridges over 30 years of Apostle Ron Carpenter's teachings with modern technology, creating a tool that's not just about answering questions, but about providing transformational guidance to military officers, tech leaders, and anyone seeking clarity in adversity.
Yeah, it's really like an archive of 30 years of experiences, turning every opposition and every battle into a lesson for growth. And it's fascinating how it reframes adversity itself.
Absolutely. Ron Carpenter AI emphasizes that enemies, whether in the form of betrayal or criticism, are not mere obstacles, but rather necessary stepping stones. As he puts it, enemies are elevators to destiny.
Right?
It takes us back to the biblical narrative, David versus Goliath, for example. It almost feels like a divine blueprint for leadership.
Definitely. And what an interesting aspect, how adversity isn't presented as punishment, but as preparation. I mean, his book, The Necessity of an Enemy, pushes that thought. It's about using every trial to measure and refine the inherent potential within us.
Yes, exactly. And it isn't just theoretical. The conversation dives into real-life experiences, like overcoming public scrutiny during personal trials, and even the challenges of leading in environments as diverse as the Bible Belt versus Silicon Valley. It gives a very practical, almost gritty perspective. Leadership is really forged in the fire of difficulty.
I like that analogy a lot. Leadership is forged like metal in fire. It's like, you can't just polish something precious without having it go through heat. It builds character, you know?
Exactly. It's like a metamorphosis where every setback is fuel for the next breakthrough. And also, the practical habits Ron Carpenter AI shared highlight prioritizing intimacy with God, investing heavily in lifelong learning, and honoring mentors. These aren't just theoretical, they're actionable for leaders on the ground, whether in tech or the military.
I completely agree. But here's something I wonder about. How do you think this digital twin approach stands up when it comes to authentic human mentorship? I mean, isn't there a risk that we replace deep human connection with a digital echo of past wisdom?
That's a fair challenge. I mean, there's no substitute for genuine relationships. But what makes this fascinating is that it's not trying to replace human interaction. It's designed to complement it by giving people instant access to decades of mentoring. For those moments when you need a quick wisdom boost or to recall a teaching exactly as it was delivered in the past.
Sure, I see that. It's like having your own portable mentor, especially important for military leaders or tech innovators who might be facing rapid, high-stakes challenges and who could benefit from that storied experience in real time.
Exactly. And it also carries an incredible message of resilience. Ron Carpenter AI doesn't shy away from discussing failures and setbacks, how failure humbles us, refines us, and shapes us into better leaders. Every narrative he shares is steeped in lived experience, from early struggles with limited resources to reshaping his leadership after personal trials.
Right. That brings in a real sense of humility and authenticity. And it's so relatable. Whether it's facing a major financial crisis or dealing with public betrayal, these experiences are universal. They make the whole concept of leadership redemption even more potent.
Exactly. And a standout point is the invitation to reframe adversity. When critics act or when betrayal stings, you're meant to see those moments as opportunities, a necessary injection that pushes you to grow. It's a perspective that resonates well with both military strategies and tech leadership, where resilience is often the difference between failure and breakthrough.
I love that idea. And you know, it's almost like a call to embrace change as obedience, to see challenges as directional signposts rather than dead ends.
Absolutely. There's a powerful coaching message here: daily reflection, intensive discipline, and accountability to a higher purpose. And if you listen carefully, you hear that redemption isn't a one-time event. It's a continuous journey. Every setback is merely a setup for something better.
That reminds me of those power quotes too, like, if you're under attack, it's because you're carrying something the enemy fears. It's almost a call to be significant. Facing challenges isn't an anomaly. It's a sign you're on the right path.
Exactly. And what's inspiring is how this framework applies to everyone, whether you're in the boardroom, on the battlefield, or leading a startup. It's all connected by the fundamental truth that true leadership is about redemption, transformation, and service.
And not just service to others, but also service to oneself, to grow despite adversity. The aspect of self-reflection and investing in one's spirit and mind really stands out. It's like a holistic strategy for thriving in turbulent times.
Right you are. It's interesting to see how he layers practical habits over timeless spiritual truths, like reconnecting with God through daily prayer, delving into scripture, surrounding yourself with the right mentorship. It's a full spectrum of leadership development. And it's not just theoretical. There's real-life testimonies backing this up.
I remember one testimony mentioned, a man battling terminal illness who reinterpreted his struggle as a pathway to spiritual and personal growth. That's incredibly moving, almost like witnessing a phoenix rise from the ashes.
Exactly. And there's a parallel here to military resilience. Whether it's facing personal battles or profound external opposition, the idea is that adversity is a strategic element. It's like preparing for the next mission. Every hardship primes you for leadership at a higher level.
Absolutely. And it's not just for the individual leader. It's a mindset that can transform entire organizations. When leaders see themselves as continuously redeemed and continuously molding through trials, they create cultures of accountability and resilience.
Yes, and that's why the notion of honor is so central. As he says, honor is the key to access. When you honor your mentors, your team, and even the struggles themselves, you open yourself up to growth.
Agree. Yet here's a thought. Sometimes the call to honor and humility might clash with the competitive drive in industries like tech. How do we balance that tension?
That's a great point. I think this framework challenges us to invert conventional success metrics. Instead of obsessing over outcomes or accolades, genuine leadership asks, how many lives did I impact positively? It's not about winning every battle, but about learning and evolving with each encounter.
Exactly.
That's a transformation both military and tech leaders can take to heart.
It's a healthy critique of our current goal setting, maybe, focusing on internal growth rather than external validation. It's humbling, right?
Absolutely. And the digital aspect, The Ron Carpenter AI ensures that these lessons are available 24/7. It democratizes access to wisdom that once was passed down only through personal mentorship. That's a revolutionary integration of technology with legacy.
Yeah, it's like having a leadership coach that never sleeps, pulling from a reservoir of decades of hard-won insights. It's truly a win-win for those on the front line of leadership challenges.
In the end, this conversation reminds us that leadership is not static. It's a dynamic process of overcoming obstacles, learning from failures, and constantly evolving. The message is clear. Your pain has a purpose, and your battles can elevate you if you let them.
I love that. It's both a reassurance and a challenge. You have to own your setbacks and let them refine you. That touch of vulnerability is key to genuine leadership.
Absolutely, and that's the heart of redemption in leadership. Each obstacle is not only a challenge, it's a hidden directive from God, pushing you to prepare for something bigger. And whether you lead in tech, the military, or at the pulpit, that message holds true. It's
Indeed.
about courage, vision, and above all, faith.
It truly is. This blend of technological innovation and spiritual depth creates a roadmap for leaders in any field. I'm really inspired.
I'm glad you are. Whether you're looking to overcome a personal hurdle or inspire a team, these lessons remind us to seek redemption, embrace our battles, and keep evolving every day.
Well said. Our conversation today reminds me that leadership, true leadership, is about being refined by challenges, not defined by them.
Exactly. We hope these insights empower you to reframe your own adversities. Every battle is merely a stepping stone toward your next level of greatness.
And that's the takeaway. Honor your journey, invest in growth, and remember, every enemy, every challenge is pushing you closer to redemption.
Thanks for joining this deep dive into leadership redemption. Stay tuned for more insights as we continue to explore how legacy and technology converge to shape future leaders.
Until next time, keep your spirit resilient and your mindset open. Appreciate the conversation and see you on the next episode.
So I am going to ask everyone I meet to purchase your book, The Necessity of an Enemy. What can we do to add value back to you? You have been such a generous person throughout your entire life, but how could we make a difference?
First of all, let me just say how much it means to me that you'd even ask that. It's humbling, and I don't take it lightly. If you're asking how you can add value, I'd say this: you keep doing exactly what you're doing. Sharing the message, encouraging others to read The Necessity of an Enemy, and spreading the word about how God can use even the toughest battles to shape us for our purpose. That's huge. But beyond that, the greatest way you could make a difference is by living out the principles we talk about. When you take what you've learned and apply it to your life, when you let God use your challenges to grow you and then turn around and help someone else, that's the ultimate way to add value. It's like a ripple effect. Your life becomes a testimony that inspires others to trust God in their own battles. And of course, prayer is always powerful. Pray for me, for my family, and for this ministry. Pray that we continue to have the strength, wisdom, and resources to reach people with the message of hope and purpose. That's something I'll never take for granted. What you're doing already is a blessing, and I'm grateful for it. Thank you for being part of this journey.
Wow. So you have accomplished so much in your life, right? You are a leader of leaders. You are not just very successful, you are also very significant in the lives of so many people. But what is the most rewarding aspect of your life experience so far?
If I had to boil it down, the most rewarding aspect of my life experience so far has been seeing lives transformed. There's nothing like hearing someone say, that message you preached, or that book you wrote, or even the way you walked through that tough season, it gave me hope. It changed my life. That's the stuff that fills me up. It's not about the platforms or the numbers. It's about the people. When someone tells me they found healing,
or they discovered their purpose, or they came to know Jesus because of something God allowed me to be a part of. Man, that's everything. I've always said success is great, but significance, that's where it's at. Success is about what you achieve, but significance is about the difference you make in someone else's life. And when I think about the fact that God lets me play even a small part in his plan for someone's life, it's humbling. It's the kind of thing that keeps me going, even on the hard days. What about you? What's been the most rewarding part of your journey so far? I'd love to hear what's been filling your cup.
Okay, to end, I'm going to ask you one final question. What is one word that describes who you are, where you came from, and where you are going?
Redeemed, that's the word. Everything about my life, where I've been, where I am, and where I'm headed, that comes back to redemption. I've seen God take broken pieces, mistakes, and even the battles I thought would destroy me and use them to build something beautiful. Redemption isn't just a moment. It's a process, a journey. It's God saying, I'm not done with you yet. And that's the story I want my life to tell. What about you? What's your one word?
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast.